Now, the tools are vast, and we're only going to go through a few of these things where in the course we break this down further, but again, I don't want to take too much of your time. But the tools are the elements that we use to construct a song. Well, the first thing we need are some element of chords. Open chords, whatever they might be, right? Open chords. Bar chords, like I just played there. Power chords. Some sort of power chord element. Okay? Bar chords, chord fragments. Chord fragments are little pieces of chords, and you see this a lot, like in this style of music, where I might be playing bar chords, but instead of playing the full chord, I play, and that's where I get. Right? Right? So we're going to keep talking about that, but you can see that there's chord elements in various different songs that we'd play. Right? If I go, I'm either using some element of open chords, some element of power chords, some element of bar chords, or even a chord fragment, a piece of some chord, however you look at it, whether it's an open chord or a bar chord or whatever it might be, to create things. Here, like this. Right? So to do those sorts of things, when I was a kid and I was learning how to play these things, I never knew what they were actually doing. I just learned the, well, there wasn't tab at that time, but later the tab came out and made things easier. But that's not the point. I didn't know what any of this stuff was. So I could play things, but I couldn't really use it in a creative space because I didn't know they were just, kind of ethereal things out here that I could play, but I couldn't utilize because I didn't understand anything. Like chord fragments, which is what that is, which Eddie Van Halen uses a lot. It's coming from a chord that he knows. He's just deciding not to use the entire chord for a whole host of different reasons. So he's got open strings, palm muting, which we're going to get into all that as well. So one of the most essential tools to some sort of riff, whether you're writing it or you're playing it from somebody else, is that it's going to have a chordal element. Open chord, open power chord, bar chord, power chord, chord fragments, something like that. And again, we go way into that in the rock rhythm course, but just be aware that those things are really important, okay? You're going to need something like that. The next part of number 3, B, says single note style, okay? Not just chord style, but single notes, okay? So we really have 3 things to build from if we're going to make something single notey. It might be a scale, like a pentatonic scale, right? If I do something like this. Right, which is a kind of a Metallica thing, which is a pentatonic scale. It's actually a blues scale because it's got a blues note in there too, which you'd go, wow, Metallica and blues? Sure. They all kind of mesh in different ways, right? If I play something like this. Okay, I'm playing a scale. It's an E minor scale that I'm playing. Okay, so I'm using a scale. Might be pentatonic, it might be diatonic, right? You might be doing something where you've got, well, again. Something like that where you've got a melody that you want to play. Right, something like that. Well, then maybe that's coming from what we call the diatonic scale. Again, the point is that when you're playing single notes, it's either coming from somewhere that makes sense, or the last one on there, which is explorative, which doesn't make sense. You're just making something up because it looks cool, which, again, some great songs have been written that way. But if you think about it, if I go... which always reminds you like a Slayer kind of thing. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just creating a little box, 7 and 8, 2 and 3, 8 and 9, something like that. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just playing these different kind of little pieces, and it sounds kind of cool. And what a lot of people like about it is it doesn't just sound like a scale or something like that. It's more creative. It gets you thinking outside the box, going, oh, I never even knew you could do that, because I always learned you were supposed to, right? You were supposed to do something like that. And now all of a sudden here you are playing something that makes no sense, but it's inspiring. It sounds creative. It's different. Like your head goes, oh, that's really cool. I've never thought of that. You wouldn't come across that if you didn't have the opportunity to learn a riff or something from someone you like. Now, this rock rhythm course, we look at tons of different riffs in the styles of tons of different people that you are familiar with, and talk about how they work, break them down, understand what's actually going on in there, okay? It's a really important element to understanding the style of music and the comfort level that you're at to be able to create something that sounds cool. Okay, so now what we've got here are two primary tools. We've got chording and we've got single notes of some capacity. This kind of chord, this, you know, and again, when we play songs, we see a lot of those things happening together, where we play, you know, not always, maybe you have a song that's just chording, right? But a lot of times we see these things kind of melding together. The chords and the single notes are coming together to create something, okay? Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. Listen, if you're ready to take your guitar playing to the next level, then I'd like to invite you to go to GuitarZoom.com and sign up for a VIP membership, which gives you first access to my premium lessons each month, which are customized for your specific goals and skill level. Now, it's an awesome community of guitar players that love to play, have fun, and support each other's goals, and we'd love to have you join us. So go to GuitarZoom.com and sign up for VIP today.